Tonight, we're going to be fixing calzones with these lovely mushrooms. And because it is so late, I've already started preheating the oven. And we just need to start off from there. So the oven is, it says 475, but I think that's a little hot. So we're going to go with maybe 425, see how it goes. So I just need to get 4 cloves of garlic. See how this works. There we go, that's better. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So just have to mince the garlic. Let's turn this light on. Oops. Well, that's a little better. Let's see. Guess this is what you get after you work all day, and let's see how this goes. Okay, 1. I think that's peeled. There we go. All right. Let's get rid of the peeling. Okay. So I think it's always easier to smush the garlic first. There we go. And then we'll just try to slice it up the best you can. Okay. I think that'll do for one. Okay. Now this is, I guess, primarily a vegetarian dish, the way that they set the recipe up. But I decided, what's the point in having a calzone without pepperoni? So I went ahead and bought some pepperoni separately. I thought that would give it a good taste, but I guess you could probably put some other things in it too, if you wanted onions or peppers or something. Whoops. Oh. Didn't finish peeling it. Well, that would be bad. Okay, let's see what we can do. There we go. Okay. Well, the oven heated up faster than I thought it would. Oh well. Okay. guess that's minced enough. Put that back over there in case we need it. So we got that. So I guess this is a cremini mushroom. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but we're going to try to do what it says, thinly slice. So I believe you want to slice it from up to down. Yeah, that looks better. So we'll just slice those. And it's probably going to be a lot of mushrooms because you're actually fixing. Should be enough pizza dough for 3 calzones. That's what I'm expecting. So it's just 1 mushroom. Okay, that's probably not sanitary, but I wash my hands. I'll be okay. Well, I guess if you can't cut it thinly, just cut it the best you can. I saw this on the website and I really wanted to try this, so we'll see how well this comes out. Oops. Well, I'm losing mushrooms all over the place. Okay. It's definitely enough mushrooms. Well, okay. Wow, we're getting there. Now what we're going to do is, when we finish cutting all these mushrooms up, which could take another 20 minutes the way I'm cutting, we'll try to cook them some in the pan, and then while they're cooking, I'm going to see if I can make pizza dough. Well, technically I guess the dough is already made up, but see if I can figure out how to use it. Okay. All right. Almost there. And the good thing about these recipes is once you've done it, you can always go to the grocery store and probably find the same ingredients. So this is a maitake mushroom, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, we'll just break it up like the directions say. Okay. All right. It'll get in there one way or the other. All right. Okay. So, haven't washed the thyme off yet, so let's just rinse this off. And we'll dry this real quick. So let's see if there's an easy way to get these leaves off the stem. Well, we're trying. Okay. Now, I think the only hard part about this meal, after figuring out what to do with the pizza dough, is the time it's just going to take to cook everything. So actually what I think I'm going to do, because I need to cook the mushrooms, and I'm running out of time. Okay, anyways. I think I'm going to go ahead and start the mushrooms. Because these leaves are just, I don't know what's happening. Not a very good leaf puller. There we go. Alright, so let's heat. And again, it says olive oil, but you can use whatever oil you want. Let's see. But we don't want too much. That's usually my problem, is I use too much oil. Alright. Okay, so let that heat up. We'll see if we can get some more this time off of here. Okay. It helps to do this earlier. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe you can just buy time in a spice container. I don't know. It might be simpler than this, but almost there. Okay. I think that'll be good enough. So okay. So we're going to dump our mushrooms in here. I believe the pan should be hot enough by now. And more mushrooms. And we want to take half of the garlic. So I'm just going to grab a good amount. The other half is going to go in the sauce later, the marinara sauce. That should be about good. And half of the thyme. That should be good. And we're just going to see if that'll cook some. Maybe this time I didn't give it enough oil. Let me see here. I can add just a little bit more. Alright, so let's just leave that there, and that'll cook. I think it says about 8 to 10 minutes, but, you know, we'll see. So let me clean the cutting board off a little bit after all the mushrooms and everything have been here. And that's perfectly sanitary. That'll be just fine. All right, so now we want to put down a little bit of flour before we put the pizza dough down. So let's just kind of sprinkle that around a little. Okay, and now I need to actually figure out what I'm going to do with this dough. Oh, we're not even ready for the dough yet. Well, I'll be doggone. All right, so add the cheese and a third of the crushed tomatoes into a bowl. Oh, of the cooked mushrooms. Okay, well, we're going to skip that part for now. We're going to go straight to making the dough. All right. Divide the pizza dough into 3 equal pieces using your hands or a rolling pin. Stretch out or roll the pieces of dough into 1/4 inch thick rounds. Well, we'll see what happens, because got my pizza dough. I'll just wash my hands again for the heck of it, who knows. Okay. So let's just see what we can do with this dough. Okay. And you always need more paper towels. Oh, this is a little weird, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely weird. No, I don't know if it's supposed to look like that, but anyways. So we've got to divide this into 3 even sections somehow. So I'm just going to pull off a clump and just hope for the best here. Not really sure. Ooh. Let's just put that there and we'll see what happens. So we want 3 even sections. I'm not so sure I'm going to be able to do that, but we'll figure it out. All right. Well, that's about 3 sections. So stretch out and roll the pieces of dough into 1/4 inch thick rounds. Divide the filling between the centers of the rounds. Fold each round in half. Okay. So I obviously have no idea what I'm doing. Let me just put down just a little bit more flour so that I don't know if anything's going to happen to the dough, but what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to flatten it out the best I can. Oh golly. Now I will say, I did receive this meal last week, so I don't know if that has anything to do with the dough or not. So we just do the best we can, and I think everything will work out just fine. So I'm basically just going to flatten the dough out the best we can do it, and then we'll stick the mushroom and cheese mixture inside, you know, of the dough, and then we'll just close it on up. But let's just see what we can do here. I guess we need just a little bit more flour. Of course, that's Parmesan cheese. We want the flour. Okay. Well, certainly a new experience. I can definitely say that. There's always something new. Let me kind of move the mushrooms around a little to see if we can get them cooked evenly now. Okay. I think this is reasonably good for what I'm expecting. Don't really know that you can see that, but just a big hunk of dough. So take our ricotta cheese and Parmesan cheese and mix it together. Ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, okay, see if we can get that out of the corner. Okay, ricotta cheese, Parmesan cheese, and the good news is we don't have to have a can opener. because no one would want to see me have to do that. And I'm just going to grab a spoon. Alright, let's mix this up a little bit more. Just a little more. Okay. Alright, so about 1/3 of a can. I'm not really sure what 1/3 of a can is, but we'll do the best we can. Alright, it's 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. I'd say that's good. That's about 1/3 of a can. That's about 1/3 of a can. Alright, so we'll put, so now, let's check and see how we're doing. Might need to turn it up a little more. Alright, so as soon as the mushrooms finish, which hopefully will be in the next minute, we'll just toss it in here with our cheese and tomato sauce, or crushed tomatoes. Alright. Let's just see if we can get those cooking a little more. Now it does say salt and pepper. Well, you know, you can always add salt and pepper. I didn't think about adding it beforehand. I think my salt and pepper must be, there we go, there we go. That should be good enough. It looks pretty good. Let's just hope it tastes good. Okay, let's throw that away. So while we're waiting for this, I'm going to flour the pan so that we can put our calzones on top of the flour so they won't stick when we're baking them. Oh, shucks. Might as well just use it all because that's all we got. Yeah, it says medium high. It may be that I just didn't cook it high enough. So let's turn it up a little. And you can cook the mushrooms as much as you want, I suppose. Because they're going to go into the oven also. We're going to be baking in the oven for a while. So I think I'm going to say this is pretty much cooked. Because as I mentioned, when they go in the oven, they're going to cook even more. And from there, it probably looks like everything's on fire. Alright, so I'm going to say it's safe to say our mushrooms are probably cooked. Okay. So my mushrooms with half the thyme and half the garlic are going to go into my crushed tomatoes and Parmesan cheese mixture. Okay. Alright. Just get everything out of here if we can. Probably should use a spatula or something, but I'm careful. So we got that off. So I'm just going to stir all of this up. and it's going to look incredibly, bad, but I think it's going to be okay. It's just cheese and tomato sauce and mushrooms. Okay. Okay. So that all looks pretty well blended. So let's just plop it down. Let's just plop some down and just see what happens. Now it looks like we actually have a lot more mushrooms than I think is going to fit in the in what we did. Now it may be that I didn't press these out enough. So let's see what we can do. And don't forget, if you want to add the pepperoni, might just stick a couple pieces in there. It's a lot of pepperoni for just 2 pieces, but if you like pepperoni. Okay. Huh. All right, so let's see what we can do, because somehow maybe we can put just a few more mushrooms in here. Let's just hope for the best, right? That should not be my tagline, especially when cooking. But hey. So I'm just going to fold this over and just try to stretch it out as I can. Okay. This does not look like the picture, by the way, which I'm sure you guessed. But I think it'll be okay. I'm just going to try to pull our pizza dough together and just try to wrap it up somehow. I'm not really sure at this moment, but we're going to figure it out. Okay, so let's see if, oh, there we go, flipped it over, so that'll help. That helps a ton. Okay. This is not going to be perfect, but it should be something, it should certainly be something good to eat. Assuming I can get it all the way over there, which I don't think I can do. Oh, goodness. I don't think this is going to work too well. Well, I guess the helpful hint is don't flip it over. Don't flip it over. Let's just add a little bit more. We'll add another piece of pepperoni maybe. So don't flip it over. Just cover it up. Don't flip it over. Okay, I think this one will be a little bit better. Just don't flip it over. Yeah, see this one turned out a lot better. That turned out much better. You just kind of squish it and make sure that hopefully the pizza dough will stay together. Oh gosh. Okay. All right, let's see if we can add some more mushrooms to this one. Don't know what I'm going to do with all these mushrooms. And leftover pepperoni. But maybe I'll put it on a salad. Okay. It's just, I can't believe this is what it looks like. Cannot believe this is what it's supposed to look like. But just try to pull it over, squish the dough together. And just hope that it'll stay together. All right, I think we got it. Not really sure, but I think we got it. And I thought this was going to be quick. So let's put just a little bit of olive oil on top of this. Maybe not that much. Okay, and let's get this in the oven so that hopefully it will cook before anything bad happens. Okay, all right. So the good news is that's done. The bad news is it says 16 to 18 minutes. So I think I'm going to hit the pause button for 16 minutes. Okay, so 10 minutes later, now we're going to make the marinara sauce. Put a little bit of oil in here. Just a little. That's good. Okay, that's good. That should be enough. You don't want it to be terribly greasy, I guess, but all right, so we're gonna put our garlic, the rest of our garlic. Okay, I think that'll be good enough. The rest of our thyme, and we're just gonna kind of heat that up a little bit. So heat that up for like a minute. Now the calzones are already starting to brown, which is good. So I'm not sure if I made the right decision or not, but I decided to turn the oven down a little bit, just in case. I didn't want to overcook anything, but you never know. All right, so let's let that garlic sizzle for a minute, the garlic and thyme, and then we'll add the rest of our tomatoes. And then they gave me some red pepper. Maybe add a couple pieces of that, just to give it a little kick. I don't know. What do I know at this hour? Now what we probably could do, hypothetically, is the leftover mushrooms and cheese you could probably put in the marinara sauce, but that might be disgusting, so let's not do that. Let's see. Let's get the spatula. Alright, that's sizzling, so let's turn that down a little, because we just want to heat it up, and we're going to add our tomato sauce. Whew. I guess that's a little hot. Just a little hot there. So I think what we'll do is put that on simmer, and then we'll stir that up. And maybe a spatula isn't the best tool since we're dealing with heat. So let's see what else we have. Well, don't try this at home. Well, actually, we'll just kind of stir it up a little with the spatula and hope it doesn't melt. There you go. Now you could add Parmesan cheese to this, I suppose, or anything else you want. But I would say, as long as that's hot, your marinara sauce is just about done. Let's just see what's happening in the oven. I would say the calzones look like they're just going to take another minute. Or few. Who knows? That's one way of mixing the sauce up. That's just one way of mixing it. So I think we can actually just leave that on low. And it says you can even add more salt. I don't know. Okay, I saw salt come out at that point. So let's just get that mixed up a little. Okay. Alright, so let's... Oh, I forgot to put a couple of red pepper flakes in there. Let's just add a couple. Okay. I think that'll be enough to season it. There we go. That'll be good. Okay. Maybe those calzones aren't ready after all. We'll come back in a second. And 45 minutes later, you have your calzone. Looks a little chunky, but... And then just put some of this marinara sauce on it. And at this point, you have a wonderful late night snack that you can tell everybody about.